Now I want to get into a few tips on how to actually prevent money. Once you've gone ahead and set up your basic campaign as we have there, what you can actually do to cut back on it and make it even more targeted. Okay? Okay. Default settings are quite a big thing with AdWords campaigns. There's quite a few of them that will cost you more money than you need to spend. So has anyone heard of broad match keywords? Okay. So say, for example, you were setting up this campaign for Cube mountain bikes, and you entered your keywords into your AdWords campaign, and your keywords were Cube Mountain Bikes UK, buy Cube mountain bikes, or several variations along those lines. You add those keywords into your account, and the default setting is that they are broad match. So how that works actually, that will actually expand out to other searches that Google sees as being at all relevant or at all connected to Cube mountain bikes. So it might be something like kids mountain bikes that obviously you don't want to sell, and you've gone to the effort of having it really tightly themed, so you have Cube mountain bikes and all the very close variants of Cube mountain bikes. So be aware that there are ways to restrict your keywords so they don't expand out so broadly, okay? So there are a few different match types. Oh, I'll first show you an example. So this is an example I just came across when I was looking online there, where these two ads here, if you can see them, they have keywords in their account to do with tax, but it's actually expanded out to taxi office Belfast. That's from use of broad match keywords, and that's where they're wasting money, and that's also why they're on the right-hand side, because they're not related enough. So these are the different match types you can use to actually restrict your traffic with AdWords. And I'll show you here. So let's say you want to sell used Rolex watches, okay? Okay, so without any symbols around it or anything, just typed in as a word, that's broad match keyword. And that will expand out to anyone searching basically for watches. It'll go as far as that, okay? Now, if we put a plus sign before it, before each word, so it's plus sign used, plus sign Rolex, plus sign watches. What that does is it means that when a user searches, it needs to have the words used, Rolex and watches within the user search query. So it has restricted it down so those terms need to be within the user search query. Okay? So it means that if someone searches for a Rolex watches used, your ad will show. So the word order doesn't matter. Or if someone searches for buy used Rolex watches, that's fine, your ad will still show. As long as it has those words that have a plus sign immediately before them in the search query, your ad will show. Okay? And there's another. Then there's phrase match, and it's within quotations. So this means that the words need to be within the order that they are in, within the inverted commas. So someone can search for buy used Rolex watches, and your ad will show. But if someone searches for Rolex watches used, your ad won't show. The words have to be in that order. Okay? And then there's this one. This is known as exact match. and it's the words within square brackets. So this means that only if someone searches for used Rolex watches, exactly what you have there within the square brackets, your ad will show. So any other variation at all of that, your ad won't show. Okay? So from this, I hope you're getting that for the most part, you don't want to use this, the broad match. Okay? Because the broad match can expand out really widely, but that is the default in your AdWords account. Okay? So if you go to add terms in your AdWords account, it'll go broad match and it'll expand quite widely. What you want to do really is use a combination of these other 3 match types. Okay? So really, the broad match modifier, match type here, with the plus signs before each of them, it's really useful to expand out quite a bit, but still have the limitation that those words with a plus sign before them need to be in the user search query for your ad to show. Okay? But it will give you lots of variations that you can learn from and then you can add into your account again. Phrase match, it gives you some variations, but it's a bit tighter for you. And then exact match is just exactly matching the user search query. So generally what I recommend doing really is adding all 3. So say, for example, if we go back to our cube mountain bike example, and you have keywords you want to target such as cube mountain bikes UK, buy cube mountain bikes, you would have each of those terms in broad match modifier with the plus signs before, phrase match with the quotations, and exact match with the square brackets. Really, it's a matter of matching the user's query as closely as you can. And Google sees it that if you have the keyword in exact match, and it's exactly what they searched for, so say if someone searches for cube mountain bikes and you have it in square brackets as exact match, then that's as close as you can get to what the user has searched for. You're kind of given kudos because you're exactly matching. Where if you have expanded out to it through having phrase match or broad match modifier match type, then someone else who might have an exact match will be given kudos over you, and so their ad might rank higher than yours and they might pay less per click. Okay? So having a mixture of those 3 match types means that you get to cover the search terms widely enough so you're getting the traffic, but you have it limited so you're not showing your ad in terms that aren't relevant to you, and you're matching as closely as possible to the user search query. Is that okay? Does that make sense? People usually have a few questions around this bit. Any questions? No? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For those of you who didn't hear that, then Alvin was asking if you can put them all together. Then, so you have the phrase match, the exact match, and the broad match modifier keywords. Yes. That's exactly what I recommend. So have them all together. So having them all within the one ad group within your AdWords account. I'll show you a very quick example. I'll just show you now, actually. Yeah. So if we go back into this test account that I have here, you'll just see exactly what it's like. I'll go into the campaign. So let's say I go into this campaign and I go into this ad group. You have the exact match, the broad match modifier, and the phrase match in the one ad group. You see that okay? So that will then give you a bit more reach, but also have it really targeted so you know that it's only in very, very tight variations of those keywords that your ad is showing. Okay?